In the hushed stillness of a museum archive, imagine yourself gazing upon an ancient Egyptian papyrus scroll. Its surface, fragile with age, is adorned with intricate hieroglyphs and vibrant vignettes, depicting a journey into the unknown. This is the Book of the Dead, a collection of spells, hymns, and prayers intended to guide the deceased through the perilous journey to the afterlife. But is it merely a collection of rituals and incantations, or does it hold deeper secrets, whispering truths about the afterlife that we are only beginning to grasp? The Book of the Dead, despite its name, is not a single book, but rather a personalized anthology of spells compiled over centuries. Each spell, meticulously crafted and imbued with magical power, was believed to assist the deceased in navigating the challenges of the underworld, overcoming obstacles, and ultimately achieving eternal bliss. But what secrets do these spells truly hold? Do they offer genuine insights into the nature of consciousness and the afterlife, or are they merely reflections of the Egyptians' deep-seated anxieties about death? This is our starting point, the spark that ignites our quest to explore the mysteries of the afterlife as revealed in ancient texts. Join me on a thrilling expedition through time as we delve into the enigmatic pages of the Book of the Dead and other texts from across the globe, deciphering their symbolism, unraveling their hidden meanings, and confronting the profound questions they raise about the human condition. We'll journey from the pyramids of Egypt to the high peaks of the Himalayas, from the bustling cities of Mesopotamia to the serene temples of ancient India. We'll encounter gods and monsters, heroes and sages, and explore a myriad of beliefs about death, rebirth, and the ultimate fate of the soul. Along the way, we'll draw upon the expertise of archaeologists, historians, and religious scholars, weaving together a tapestry of ancient wisdom and modern interpretations. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of the afterlife? Let's begin our journey with the Book of the Dead, a text that has captivated and mystified scholars for centuries. This is not just a journey through history, it's a journey into the depths of the human soul, a quest to understand our place in the cosmos and the ultimate fate that awaits us all. We'll delve into the enigmatic pages of texts like the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and many others, deciphering their symbolism and unraveling their hidden meanings. Together, we'll navigate the labyrinth of the human psyche and confront the profound questions that have haunted humanity since the dawn of time. But first, let's truly immerse ourselves in the world of our ancestors. Imagine standing before the colossal pyramids of Giza, their smooth, triangular faces reaching towards the heavens. These weren't just tombs, they were gateways to eternity, meticulously designed to facilitate the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. Picture the vibrant murals that adorn the walls of Egyptian tombs, depicting scenes of the deceased navigating the underworld, facing trials, and ultimately achieving eternal bliss. Hear the echoes of priests chanting incantations, their voices filling the sacred chambers of temples dedicated to Osiris, the god of the dead. Or perhaps you find yourself high in the Himalayas, amidst the serene beauty of a Tibetan monastery. Prayer flags flutter in the wind, carrying mantras to the heavens, while monks meditate in silent contemplation, seeking enlightenment and liberation from the cycle of death and rebirth. Imagine witnessing the intricate rituals surrounding death, where the body is prepared for its final journey, and the soul is guided through the bardo, the transitional state between lives. These vivid scenes, drawn from the pages of ancient texts, transport us to a world where the afterlife was not a distant concept, but a vibrant reality intertwined with everyday life. The Egyptians, for instance, believed in a complex underworld ruled by Osiris, the god of the dead. They meticulously prepared their deceased for this journey, mummifying their bodies and adorning their tombs with provisions and protective spells. Let's take a closer look at this process, guided by the expertise of renowned Egyptologist Salima Ikram. Imagine the skilled embalmers, their faces masked to ward off the stench of decay, carefully removing the internal organs of the deceased and placing them in canopic jars, each guarded by a protective deity. Ikram's research has shed light on the intricate techniques used by these embalmers, revealing their deep knowledge of anatomy and their reverence for the human body. The body is then cleansed with fragrant oils and spices, dried with natron salt, and wrapped in layers of linen bandages, each layer imbued with protective spells and incantations. Amulets and charms are placed amongst the wrappings, offering further safeguards for the journey ahead. Finally, the mummy is placed within a sarcophagus, its lid painted with scenes from the Book of the Dead, guiding the deceased through the perils of the underworld. The Mesopotamians, on the other hand, envisioned a gloomy underworld known as the Land of No Return, where the dead resided as shadowy figures, forever separated from the world of the living. Their texts, etched on clay tablets, describe a desolate realm where dust and darkness reign, and the spirits of the dead wander aimlessly, yearning for the world they left behind. Scholars like Andrew George, a leading expert on Mesopotamian literature, have analyzed these texts, revealing the Mesopotamians' deep anxieties about death and their yearning for immortality. These contrasting beliefs highlight the diversity of ancient perspectives on the afterlife. Yet they share a common thread: the unwavering belief that death is not the end, but a passage to another state of being. This conviction is powerfully expressed in the ancient texts we're about to explore. Texts that offer us a window into the hopes, fears, and beliefs of those who came before us. Our journey begins with the iconic Book of the Dead, a collection of ancient Egyptian funerary texts written on papyrus scrolls. These scrolls, often placed within the coffins of the deceased, were not intended to be read as a narrative, but rather served as a guidebook for navigating the perilous journey through the afterlife. Imagine yourself as an ancient Egyptian, your heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and trepidation as you face the unknown. The Book of the Dead would have been your compass, your map through the treacherous terrain of the underworld, offering spells, hymns, and prayers to protect you from malevolent spirits and guide you towards eternal bliss. The Book of the Dead, however, is not a single unified text, but rather a compilation of spells and incantations collected over centuries, with each spell serving a specific purpose. Eminent Egyptologist John Assman argues that the Book of the Dead reflects a shift in Egyptian religious beliefs, from a focus on the king's journey to the afterlife to a more democratized view that emphasized the individual's responsibility for their own salvation. Some spells, like the spell for not letting the deceased's heart create opposition against him in the god's domain, aimed to ensure the deceased's smooth passage through the underworld by preventing their heart from betraying them during the judgment process. Others, like the spell for transforming into a lotus, offered the deceased the ability to transform into various creatures, granting them power and protection in the afterlife. One of the most captivating and well-known scenes from the Book of the Dead is the weighing of the heart ceremony. Imagine standing before Osiris, the god of the dead, your heart placed on a scale balanced against the feather of Mot, the goddess of truth and justice. Anubis, the jackal-headed god of embalming, oversees the proceedings, while Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, records the results. If your heart is lighter than the feather, you are deemed worthy and granted access to the field of reeds, a paradise where you reunite with loved ones and bask in eternal happiness. But if your heart is heavier, burdened by the weight of your misdeeds, it is devoured by Ammit, a fearsome beast with the head of a crocodile and the body of a lion and hippopotamus, condemning your soul to oblivion. This vivid imagery not only reflects the Egyptians' intricate beliefs about the afterlife, but also reveals their deep-seated values and moral code. The weighing of the heart emphasizes the importance of living a just and virtuous life, for it is your actions in this world that determine your fate in the next. But the Book of the Dead is more than just a moral guide. It's also a testament to the Egyptians' profound belief in magic and the power of words. Spells were not merely incantations, but powerful tools that could influence the course of events in the afterlife. By reciting these spells, the deceased could overcome obstacles, appease the gods, and ultimately secure their place in paradise. The Book of the Dead, with its intricate spells, vivid imagery, and profound insights into the human psyche, offers a captivating glimpse into the Egyptian worldview. It's a testament to their unwavering belief in the afterlife, their deep-seated values, and their fascination with magic and the power of words. But most importantly, it reminds us that the quest to understand death and the afterlife is a universal human endeavor, one that transcends time and culture. From the sands of Egypt, we now journey to the towering peaks of the Himalayas, where Tibetan Buddhism offers a unique perspective on death and the afterlife. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, or Bardo Thodol, meaning liberation through hearing during the intermediate state, serves as a guide for the deceased during the Bardo, the transitional state between death and rebirth. Imagine the moment of death, not as an abrupt end, but as a gradual process, a journey through different states of consciousness. The Tibetan Book of the Dead describes this journey as a series of visions, both terrifying and blissful, reflecting the deceased's past karma and their potential for enlightenment. It's a psychological odyssey, a confrontation with the deepest recesses of the mind, where the deceased must navigate the labyrinth of their own karmic imprints. The text outlines 3 bardos. The Chikai Bardo. This is the moment of death itself, where the deceased experiences the clear light of reality, a state of pure consciousness. If they recognize this light and embrace it, they can achieve liberation from the cycle of death and rebirth. However, most individuals, due to their attachments and karmic imprints, fail to recognize this light and move on to the next bardo. The Chonyad Bardo. In this stage, the deceased encounters peaceful and wrathful deities, manifestations of their own psychological states. These encounters can be terrifying, but the Book of the Dead emphasizes that these deities are not external beings, but projections of the deceased's own mind. By recognizing their illusory nature, the deceased can overcome their fear and progress towards liberation. The Sidpa Bardo. This is the bardo of rebirth, where the deceased, driven by their karma, seeks a new womb to enter. The Book of the Dead offers guidance on how to choose a favorable rebirth and avoid negative realms of existence. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, with its intricate descriptions of the bardo, offers a profound exploration of consciousness and the nature of reality. It challenges us to confront our own mortality, to recognize the impermanence of all things, and to seek liberation from the cycle of suffering. It's a text that invites contemplation and introspection, urging us to look within and discover the true nature of our own being. But what about rebirth? Is it a literal process or a metaphorical one? Tibetan Buddhism views rebirth as a continuous cycle, driven by karma, the law of cause and effect. The actions we take in this life shape our future lives, leading us through countless rebirths until we achieve enlightenment and break free from this cycle. However, the interpretation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead is not without controversy. Scholars like Robert Thurman, a renowned expert on Tibetan Buddhism, emphasize the text's psychological and spiritual dimensions, arguing that it offers a roadmap for navigating the inner landscape of the mind. Others, like Donald Lopez Jr., caution against literal interpretations, emphasizing the cultural and historical context in which the text was produced. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, with its profound insights into the nature of consciousness, death, and rebirth, offers a unique perspective on the afterlife. It's a text that challenges our assumptions, expands our understanding of reality, and invites us to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Our exploration of ancient wisdom doesn't end with the Egyptian and Tibetan books of the dead. Countless other cultures have grappled with the mysteries of the afterlife, leaving behind a rich tapestry of texts and traditions that offer unique perspectives on this enduring question. Imagine yourself stepping into the gloom of Hades, the Greek underworld, where shadowy figures flit amongst the cypress trees. Hear the mournful cries of the dead as they wander the asphodel meadows, their memories fading like wisps of smoke. Witness Odysseus, his face pale in the ghostly light, consulting the prophet Tiresias about his fate, or Orpheus, his lyre echoing through the cavernous halls, attempting to reclaim his beloved Eurydice from the clutches of death. Or perhaps you find yourself in the vibrant world of Mesoamerican mythology, descending into the depths of Xibalba, the Mayan underworld. Navigate the treacherous trials and challenges that await you in this dark realm, encountering fearsome deities and monstrous creatures. Witness the hero twins, Hunahpu and Xbalanque, as they outwit the lords of death and ultimately rise to become the sun and the moon. These vivid scenes, drawn from the pages of ancient texts like Homer's Odyssey and the Mayan Popol Vuh, transport us to worlds where the afterlife was not a distant concept but a vibrant reality intertwined with everyday life. The ancient Greeks, for instance, believed in Hades, a shadowy underworld ruled by the god Pluto. Homer's Odyssey provides a vivid account of Odysseus's journey to this realm, where he encounters the shades of the dead, including his mother and the legendary hero Achilles. This epic poem not only reflects the Greek fascination with the afterlife, but also explores themes of loss, grief, and the enduring power of human connection. However, the historical accuracy of the Odyssey has been a subject of debate among scholars. While some, like classicist Emily Wilson, argue that the poem reflects genuine Bronze Age traditions and beliefs, others, like historian Moses Finley, view it as a work of fiction with little historical value. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Epic of Gilgamesh tells the story of a king who embarks on a quest for immortality after the death of his friend Enkidu. His journey leads him to Utnapishtim, the sole survivor of a great flood, who reveals the secret of eternal life. While Gilgamesh ultimately fails to achieve immortality, the epic explores the human longing for everlasting life, the inevitability of death, and the importance of finding meaning in a finite existence. The Epic of Gilgamesh itself is a composite work, assembled from various fragments and versions discovered across Mesopotamia. Scholars like Benjamin Foster have dedicated their careers to piecing together these fragments, attempting to reconstruct the original epic and understand its cultural significance. In ancient India, the Vedas and Upanishads, sacred texts dating back thousands of years, offer profound insights into the nature of reality, consciousness, and the afterlife. These texts explore the concept of reincarnation, the transmigration of the soul from one body to another, and the ultimate goal of liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Wendy Doniger, a leading scholar of Hinduism, has explored the complex and often contradictory views on the afterlife presented in these texts, highlighting the diversity of beliefs within the Hindu tradition. These are just a few examples of the countless ancient texts that illuminate humanity's age-old fascination with the afterlife. From the Norse myths of Valhalla, a hall where warriors feast and prepare for Ragnarok, the end of the world, to the Mayan underworld of Xibalba, a treacherous realm filled with trials and challenges, each culture offers its own unique perspective, enriching our understanding of this universal human experience. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, are these ancient texts anything more than elaborate myths and legends? Can we really learn anything about the afterlife from them? It's a valid question, and one that deserves careful consideration. Skeptics argue that these texts are products of their time, reflecting the cultural and religious beliefs of ancient civilizations. They contend that these beliefs have no relevance in our modern scientific world. They might say, these are just stories, attempts to explain the unknown in a time before science could provide rational explanations. However, dismissing these texts as mere fables would be a mistake. While they undoubtedly reflect the cultural context in which they were created, they also tap into something deeper, something universal about the human experience. They speak to our innate curiosity about what lies beyond death, our fear of the unknown, and our hope for something more. Moreover, these texts offer valuable insights into the psychology of our ancestors. They reveal how they coped with loss, how they made sense of death, and how they found meaning in life in the face of mortality. These insights can still resonate with us today, offering comfort and guidance as we navigate our own existential questions. So what secrets do ancient texts truly reveal about the afterlife? Perhaps the most important revelation is not about the afterlife itself, but about ourselves. These texts reflect our enduring quest to understand death, our yearning for meaning and purpose, and our hope for something beyond the physical realm. They remind us that we are not alone in our questions and doubts. For millennia, humans have grappled with the same existential anxieties, the same hopes and fears about the great unknown. These texts offer a sense of continuity, connecting us to our ancestors and their timeless wisdom. In a world increasingly dominated by science and technology, it's easy to dismiss ancient beliefs as outdated and irrelevant. But perhaps these texts hold something that science cannot explain, something that speaks to the depths of the human soul. They invite us to look beyond the material world and explore the realm of the spiritual, to ponder the mysteries of existence and contemplate our place in the grand scheme of things. As we conclude our journey through ancient wisdom, let us carry with us the echoes of these whispers from beyond. Let us remember the Egyptians' meticulous preparations for the afterlife, the Tibetans' profound exploration of consciousness, and the countless other cultures that have grappled with the mysteries of death and rebirth. These texts, though ancient, still speak to us today. They remind us that the question of the afterlife is not just a matter of faith or belief, but a reflection of our deepest humanity. They challenge us to confront our own mortality, to live meaningful lives, and to seek answers to the eternal questions that have haunted us since the dawn of time. And so, as you gaze up at the stars tonight, remember the whispers from beyond, the secrets hidden within ancient texts. Let them spark your curiosity, ignite your imagination, and inspire you to embark on your own quest for understanding. For in the words of the ancient Egyptians, death is a bridge that leads to new life.